Well, Joe Douglas has done it again. Hey, what's going on? Matt O'Leary back with another video. Today I'm talking about Joe Douglas making a trade for James Robinson yesterday. Before we get started today, I just want to mention you can follow on social media at Matt O'Leary NY. If you haven't already, please make sure to check out the Just Jets podcast, wherever it is that you get your show. And also, this video is brought to you by BUSR, the official sportsbook of Matt O'Leary NY. Make sure to sign up at busr.com/Matt. They are giving 150% free play bonuses on your first deposit. So make sure to get in on the action, have some fun, win some money on the New York Jets. So yesterday was a very tough victory. Monday, we did a couple of live streams, one reacting to the Breece Hall news, the second one reacting to the AVT news. So it was a very busy day and a sad day because, well, yes, theoretically, the Jets season is not over, of course, obviously, with those two injuries, but they're significant blows, so it was a tough one to swallow. But Joe Douglas does something that I think was a really smart move, something that I actually predicted. Look, I tweeted something out in the 1 o'clock hour, and then just 6 hours later, Joe Douglas lands James Robinson. So here's what happened and why it happened and all that stuff. So it's a 6th-round pick that could turn into a 5th-round pick. So essentially, what they originally traded was the Blake Cashman pick. So Joe Douglas turned Blake Cashman, an injury-prone linebacker, into James Robinson, a former 1,000-yard rusher, in a pinch after his rookie running back, who was on pace to go for Offensive Rookie of the Year, goes down with an injury. That is truly fantastic work from our guy, Joe Douglas. So hats off to him, because that is absolutely tremendous. So he started out hot. James Robinson started out hot early on in the year. We'll talk about what he did before the past couple of years, but out of the gate, he had 4 touchdowns in the first 3 weeks of the season, a receiving touchdown, 3 rushing touchdowns, and he was really the focal point of that Jacksonville Jaguars offense. And then they start to stumble a little bit, and now they've really transitioned to Travis Etienne as their lead back, so much so that Robinson only saw 12 snaps this past week and had 0 touches, no receptions, no rushes. It's just so bizarre how they don't want to use him. Urban Meyer last year came in and saw, after his rookie season, undrafted free agent rookie comes in, puts up 1,070 yards, 7 touchdowns, says, I don't want to use that guy. I'm going to instead draft Travis Etienne. He's going to get hurt, but it was just a disaster, and I don't understand why the Jaguars didn't want to use this guy. He was good. Last year, 767 yards and 8 touchdowns on just 164 rushes, and for his career, he is averaging 4.5 yards, 4.5 yards per carry. He can play. This guy can play, and that's important to me, because it was never about what Michael Carter is or isn't at this point in his career. I like Michael Carter. I think he is a good running back and can be part of a good running back tandem, but it was beyond Michael Carter that scared me. Ty Johnson, I don't trust in a big role. And while I liked what I saw from Bam Knight in the preseason and thought he deserved a chance to be RB3, it was a major, major risk to say, I want to go the rest of my year with Michael Carter and Bam Knight in an offense where it's been very, very clear they are going to run the football. They want to run the football, and I didn't trust the personnel that they had behind Michael Carter. But now, a 1-2 punch of Carter and James Robinson, you could really do some damage with that duo, and I think that's what we're going to see here the rest of the way. And the best part about this trade, and there were other ones on the table, people thought maybe Cam Akers, maybe Kareem Hunt, although he had a checkered past, Jamal Williams, you go right down the line. There were so many different options for Joe Douglas to acquire. But what I really like about James Robinson is, one, he's only 24 years old, so he's still extremely young. And number 2, he's a restricted free agent after this year. So the Jets could keep him on the cheap, relatively cheap. And I would think that'd be a wise decision, especially if Breece Hall, if he's not exactly 100% at the start of next year, which is fine. Obviously, I'm rooting for him to get back as soon as possible, but you need to give yourself an insurance policy, and this is a great insurance policy. Or you can designate a tag on him, and if he signs elsewhere as a restricted free agent, you get a pick back for that. So you would essentially, if the Jets were to lose James Robinson after this year, you're not losing him for nothing. You're going to get a pick that you designated on him back in return. It's genius. It's very, very wise, and I'm very happy that Joe Douglas acted so quickly. Found out literally a day later, not 24 hours after the Jets game, that Breece Hall was done for the year. Unfortunate. He was off to a terrific start through his first 7 career games with the New York Jets as a rookie. And they, in less than 24 hours after the game ended, also acquired a new running back. Very, very smart. As I mentioned, the New York Jets are really going to try to run the football, and I expect James Robinson not only to play this week against the New England Patriots, but to be involved. Obviously, Michael Carter is probably going to have the lead role, which is fine. Once again, I like Michael Carter. I think he's going to be fine, but you needed more depth beyond that, and your depth is a guy who was an 1,000-yard rusher a couple of years ago, and a guy who had 767 yards and 8 touchdowns on just 164 carries last year. James Robinson can play. I know that for whatever reason, the Jacksonville Jaguars, they prefer Travis Etienne, probably because of where he was drafted. He's Trevor Lawrence's buddy. They played college ball together. They are going in that direction. And if you look by the people who are Jaguars fans online, they don't like this trade. They like James Robinson. They don't understand why he hasn't been utilized the last couple of years. And especially, like I said, last week in a game that they lost to the New York Giants, 0 touches. 12 snaps. So they're not using him. So this is a home run. It's a 6th-round pick that could turn into a 5th-round pick. Even if it does turn into that 5th-round pick, which I think it's like if he rushes for over like 260 yards, which I fully expect him to do, I'm okay with that. Because the Jets need to have a good running game in order to be competitive and in order to help their young quarterback. So I love it. Let me know your thoughts on the trade. Joe Douglas doing the damn thing again. Trade in Joe Douglas out here doing it. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Please make sure to subscribe, leave a comment, like the video, share it with a friend. Once again, I'm Matt O'Leary, and I'll catch you next time.